morning, folks. We've been foraging. Here, trailer full of timber. So I've decided what we need to do. We need to freshen up the hide area because, well, we'll have a wander up in a minute. This time of year, it's like a jungle. That's what we're going to do. Now, one of the main areas that I want to concentrate on is the feeder area. So where I hang them feeders at the moment, it's one that a mate give me, and I want to make it a bit more natural. So if we can, well, we'll have a look here. It's easier if I show you. So this is what we've just been and foraged. Only half an hour. So half an hour's worth of stuff. I've got a nice big stump there that's going to look good. A couple of main central props, if you will. Then we've got all these bits of old, I think, well, some of them are oak, which is ideal, but they're natural looking. So if we've got, say when we get it set up, we've got a hanger there, and then if we happen to get a sparrow hawk coming in or something, it's actually sat on a natural perch. So, which also combines as a hanger as well. So that's the idea. So we're gonna probably use, I don't know, one of these two anyway. We've got a choice. So we'll empty the trailer now, oik it all up yonder, uphill, and take a spade and some screws and a bit of whatever, and we'll see what we can construct. And we're going to do a bit of stripping back as well, because it's like I said, it's a bit of a jungle up there and it's got overgrown. So we want to take the camera up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get Dawn set up in the hide with the camera, and we're going to look at each perch where birds could potentially land, on the wall, on the fence, all that kind of stuff. And then she's going to tell me whether there's anything obscuring it and all that malarkey. So we've a bit of work to do, so let's get to it. That's what I'm talking about. So it's obviously too long. We'll probably cut it off there, but it wants to be in the ground that far, and then we'll make it up as we go along. But nice natural perches. Another good one. I think what we'll do, that's the easy bit, getting them off there. We'll get them up in the meadow, dig an hole, drop them in, and see what it looks like. And then once it's all set up, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get it all set up. We'll get it all trimmed back, because I've started putting feed out again for them, for the birds, and we'll do an overnighter. That's what we'll do. Camp beds up there. We'll put a bit of stuff out. I've picked a couple of pheasants up lately. We'll stick some stuff on the buzzard setup. We'll get everything filled up. We'll put a few suet balls out, see if we can get them woodpeckers back in. Actually saw a green woodpecker yesterday. I was working up at the top at the shepherd's hut, and I heard it. Well, it's unmistakable, the call of a green woodpecker. Looked up, there it was. So that'd be wicked if we could get one of them nesting around here. I don't know if it would, whether it was just passing by, I'm not sure, but just really nice to see. Right, enough prattling. Let's get this up there. Right, this is what we've got at the moment, and it served a purpose, but it needs to go. we need to change it. So we've hoiked all this stuff up here, a few tools. So we'll take the feeders off. I generally have 2 seed feeders and 2 peanut feeders. So it needs to be an half decent size. Like I said, we've got 2 peanut feeders, 2 seed feeders, and maybe a little bit more. But at the moment, if something came in and landed on there, well, it's naff in it. You're not going to take a photograph of it on there. But if it's something that's natural, we can extend a couple of branches and we'll make it up as we go along. And we want a bit of a jumble down here, one to support it, but also if something came in, if a sparrowhawk came in, the little birds can dive in and create a kind of a safe haven for them, really. So we're going to get a few of these out of the road. I don't have to disturb it too much, really. So height wise, well, we're going to go in ground a bit more than that, I think, this time. Let's see how hard the ground is. It's not rained for, well, not a consistent rain for months. Dry as a bone. Right, I think that'll do. That's about, I don't know, it's a good 18 inches deep, that, so we'll try the 2 that I have in mind. I quite like this one, really, but we'll see what it looks like. So the idea is, once this is fixed in, we'll have a series of arms coming off, enough to accommodate 4 feeders, and maybe, I don't know, maybe hang a couple of fat balls off it or whatever. But that's that one. We'll try the other. So that's oak, that's a piece of oak, that one. This one's, I think, looking at the bits of bark that's left on it, I think this might be cherry. I want trimming down a bit. Yeah, it does want trimming down a bit. Do you know, I think I prefer that one, really. I prefer the bark on it. You know, if I got a woodpecker on that one, it's all stripped off, there's no bark on that one. It looks a bit sterile. So this one, it's got a bit more about it. We could possibly drill a few holes at the back so that you can't see them from the hide, and then we're able to put a few bits of suet and fat balls in there. But it's going to have to come down because I want to keep that top bit. So it probably wants, I don't know, it wants another 2 foot off that. So we'll get with a little chainsaw. If you're doing stuff like this and you're unsure exactly how high you want it, just a little tip, don't go mad and take too much off. It's easier to just take a few cuts, keep trying it, get it right. If you take too much off and it's too short, that's it, you're knackered, aren't you? So do you know, I don't think it's that. We're in a bad guess. Problem is I don't want stuff landing right on the top, because then we've got a sky in the background, so it wants to be a bit lower. We're going to take it down a bit. That's better. Right, we're having that. So, you know, imagine we were using that piece. We want to maybe put one across there, one across that way. Yeah, look all right, that. And again, just keep checking, so checking from all angles. To be honest, there's not going to be a lot of photography done on that feeder. I just want it to look, you know, in keeping with all the rest of the stuff. I don't like, well, it never looks good, does it, when you're photographing on a feeder, but if you can get them coming in and possibly on the end of some longer branches, there's a chance you might get a decent shot, especially if a sparrowhawk comes in, which you never know. Right, let's have a few, let's do a bit of trial and error. How's that look? There we go. You see how hard it is, this dead wood. Smoking. There we go. That'll do us. And the more I build it up around here, the more it'll make it, it'll kind of consolidate it, but it's all right, is that? And I'm just going to put some hooks on here so I can hang the feeders off. Yeah, suited with that. Yeah, looks better than it did before. So, like I said, I mean, I'll probably hang a feeder off there. You know, miracles do happen, but you know, imagine if a sparrowhawk landed on there, I'd have a much better chance of getting a decent picture than if it had landed on the old feeder. You know, it looks a lot more natural. And we'll put some holes in the back here as well for the woodpeckers. So, yeah. So I just need to have a look now. Like I said, I'm going to get Dawn set up in the hide with the camera, and every single perch, you know, possibly where birds could land, just getting eyes on, make sure there's no grass in front of it. It doesn't really matter behind, because that's all part of the background. You know, you'll get some with all this knapweed. I think at the moment it looks fantastic. The noise, you can't pick it up on the microphone at the moment, but the noise, there's so many bees knocking about, it's fantastic. So the backgrounds are fine. It's just that any obstructions in the foreground, that big stump I've got in the barrow there, I'm going to get the barrow up in a minute, put that big stump down here, so when we're shooting out of these lower windows, we get the jays down here, which is unbelievably close. They do come in so close here, which is a mega bonus. The jays are one of our kind of star attractions, really. So we'll have that stump down here. Maybe, I'm thinking, I've got some big trays in the polytunnel, and I've had one set up just down there in front, and just filled it with water really, and put a few stones around it. It's not a pond by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just a little water source that the birds can come in and drink from, and it's amazing. Even just something that big will bring birds in. So yeah, we've got a bit of messing about to do and getting ready for the new season. So once we've done this, we're not going to do it tonight, but the next couple of nights we'll get in the hide and we're going to do a 24-hour. It got me thinking before when I was talking about that little tiny, well, it's not a pond, a little pool. I thought we'd put one in here. We'll put one in front of the hide, and not very, you know, it's not even 4 meters, 5 meters, something like that. So I've moved a few logs a little bit further back. We've got that big stump that we collected this morning. So I think we'll have the stump here, and then we'll just put it here and see if out comes down. You know, it's vital in it for the birds to have water, and if we can create something, and we've had voles under there. Hopefully they'll stay there. Yeah, if we can create a little photo opportunity as well, it's a bonus, isn't it? So we'll get that stump. I'm going to have to start finding lighter props. Right, I reckon we have that like that. We'll just put our a little pool as such, and then all I'm going to do, I'll bring a bit of, we've got some earth, some compost, we'll just bank it up a bit, put a few rocks in, try and hide this. You've got to hide the plastic, otherwise it's going to look naff, innit? But I think we might just dig it in a little bit. Now see, I don't know whether it looks better that way around or whether the other way around. Let's try the other way around. I think it might be better like that, you know. I'll chop that front off. Evening folks. Well, as promised, we're doing an overnighter, so let's put a bit of light on. Might be a little bit better. So as I said in the intro to the film, once I got the front of the hide all trimmed back and tidied up and a few new perches and all that kind of stuff, I said we'd do a bit of a session in here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to get a bit of a wriggle on because it is, what time is it now? 20 to 9. So then what I'll do, I'll come up here, we'll try and photograph the owls. So we'll get started with them. We're going to sleep in here tonight. We've got the camp bed set up, so nice early start. So I've filled all the feeders up. We've got, I tell you what, come on, we'll have a wander outside. I'll show you what's going on. Just jump down here. Right, so as I mentioned, we've got our new little drinking pool there. We've got everything tidied up, the walls all tidied up, left all that knapweed behind it. We've got our new feeder set up that you saw us making, so that's a lot better now. It just, I don't know, it just looks a ton better. And then we haven't changed a lot around here because I like this bit. We've changed a few little things. We've kept that post there, we've kept the big V perch. Now we've obviously got the new fence set up, the new old fence I should say. Now I've just decided to put this up for tonight because I salvaged this the other day from some friends of ours. They've got a farm and they were getting rid of loads of stuff, and you know what I'm like. I saw this old barn door and I got a few of them, and I thought that is going to look brilliant, you know, with an owl on it. So this is the bit that I like. You just can't replicate that. The patina on that is fantastic. So I've literally just propped it up against another perch that's behind it and kind of got it at the right angle. Whether it comes off or not, I don't know, but I thought we'd give it a try tonight. So, but all the feeders are filled up, all the little pots and what have you. So we'll attempt to see if these owls come in, give that a bash. We'll get our heads down and then crack as sparrows tomorrow. I'll set my alarm for, I don't know, about 3:45 maybe, something like that. And then we're in the hide, everything's all positioned. If the buzzards are knocking about, they're not going to see me coming in because I'm already in here. And we'll see what comes in. But see, it's early days again. I've not been feeding them throughout the breeding season. So we've literally, only in the last few days have I started putting stuff out again, and the rafts of small stuff coming in. I've seen a couple of woodpeckers. What else have we had in? Nuthatches have been in. Seen a couple of jays. Yeah, it's like I said, it's early days. There's still plenty of food out there and round and about, and you know they're not relying on the feeders being full at the moment. So right, enough talking. Let's get these lamps set up and get the battery pack out there and see if we can get some pictures of these owls. So if you've seen me using this setup before, you'll have known that I had two masts that were basically set up, well, kind of semi-permanent if you will. They were inside a post and I slid them up, and the thing is they were fixed, and I've decided to start using my Bembo trekkers. I've got two of them. I managed to pick another one up the other day. These are great, really versatile tripods. Old school, but we don't mind that. So I can set them up, get my rotor light on top and my little flash, and I can just move them wherever I want. If hopefully I'm going to photograph them on this old door, so I can move them. And then if I decide maybe try and photograph them on the fence, again I can just move my flashes around, and it's a lot more versatile. So I'm glad I've got them. They're a good bit of kit of the old Bembos. Right, let's get these rotor lights set up. dead simple setup tonight. 2 rotor lights, 2 flashes on really low power, down on 1/16 power, just to give that little bit of a catch light. I brought 3 lenses with me, so I brought the 500 f4, the 300 2.8, and I brought the 180 to 600. I always use the 180 to 600 when I'm doing the owls at night. It's just a fantastic versatile lens, and it doesn't matter about obviously the light gathering capability, because we've got enough light with that little bit of flash that we're using. So a really good lens to use for this kind of work. And we'll give it a bash tomorrow, because tomorrow I want to try photographing down at this new little drinking setup. I've already seen quite a few birds going in there, but having all them lenses, I mean, early on, first thing in the morning, I'm probably going to stick that 300 2.8 on, just to see, you know, that really poor light in the morning. If something comes down early, I've then got, you know, the potential to maybe get a decent shot. So we'll see how that pans out, and then I'll stick the 500 on, and then if the light picks up, I'm not sure what the forecast is like tomorrow. I haven't even looked at it. So yeah, right, another, what time are we on? 9 o'clock, so it's going to be at least another half an hour. Another half an hour and they'll probably start calling, so see what happens, eh? Okay, 1/200th of a second, f8 and ISO 640, single shot. Perfect. Just need an owl now. think we can say that was a proper result. So we had the owl in, came in a few times, landed exactly where I wanted it to do, which was great. I got some lovely pictures and a bit of video footage as well. And then it landed on every perch you could think of. So it landed on the fence, on that post, landed on the new feeder setup, and then it landed on that big post where the wall is, and then up on the light. So it was having a right good mooch about, but it's great, lovely to see him. A fantastic bird. Right, time to get all this packed up and get my head down, ready for an early start in the morning. Read a couple of chapters and get the head down. That'll do us. Right, see you in the morning. Morning, folks. Oh dear me. I set the alarm for another 15 minutes, so it's 4:30. Pretty good nightscape there actually. Yeah, comfy, warm. So it's time for a quick coffee. Let's get up and take some photos. Well, I'm going to have this brew and then I'm going to head down for breakfast. We've had a decent morning, so it's, what are we on now? It's only 20 to 9. So I think what I'll do, I'll nip down, get some breakfast, then I'll come back up, maybe have another hour or so. But it's been a good morning. The light's not that good. It's a bit drizzly and a bit wet, but it's made for some nice shots. Probably the highlight, I got a really nice picture of a young carrion crow, which, all right, a lot of people won't bother photographing them, but I think sometimes when the weather is a little bit wet and it's a bit skanky, it can give a different look to the birds. Again, I got another photo of a goldfinch, whereas you're used to seeing them absolutely pristine, feather perfect. This one, it was bedraggled, wet through, but it's something different, something, you know, a little bit from the norm, if you will. The carrion crow one, I think I'm gonna change that to monochrome, change it to black and white, and we'll see how it comes out that. But it should be quite a nice shot, some really nice detail in the feathers and that. And that's about it really. I mean, the highlights, we've had a big flock of goldfinches coming in, about 50 of them, feeding on this knapweed. What else have we had in? Some nice images of the song thrush as well, they're coming close, and wrens as well. Wrens are quite difficult to photograph because they're so quick, they don't really stay still for very long. But yeah, it's been all right, it's been a good morning, bearing in mind the weather, so it's not been the best, but you make do with what you've got, don't you? Right, so that's it for this one, and we'll see you on the next one.